Jack him.
Number 10. Thou shalt not change bank accounts. Folks, this is just a timing thing. When you change bank accounts, now I've got to get information. Do you put somebody on that bank account, or you moving to another bank where maybe you've got somebody on it where there could become issues? Most investors want to verify deposits over the $500. Okay? So you want to make sure when you're looking at this, you don't want to be moving bank accounts and shifting around. Number 9. This piggybacks off of number 10 because that's how important it is. Thou shalt not move funds in and out of your bank account. Folks, you can't just go to the lottery, okay, and you can't go to the casino, win money, and then just all of a sudden get in and put it into the bank. You have to source where these monies are coming from, okay? So it is a big deal because then, if anything, it has to be what they call seasoned, which means we got to show that it's been in there for 60 days. Right? So if all of a sudden you throw 20 grand into your bank account, we can't use that unless you show where those monies came from. Well, it's cash I had. Well, where did it come from? I sold something. Where's the bill of sale? I won it at the casino. Show me how. So there's different things like that, and that's why when it comes to bank accounts and moving money, number 10 and number 9 are very important. Get with your lender first. Get with your lender first. Number 8. This is a huge one. I debate whether to move this one up. Thou shalt not co-sign on a loan or lease for anyone. Folks, do not, and we will talk about this in our credit webinar, do not co-sign. Well, he's my son. It's my daughter. I know, I love her. It comes back to bite you every time. If you want to help them out, have them attend my credit webinar on the 23rd, and I will teach them how to piggyback off of you and your great credit. But absolutely do not co-sign on a loan or a lease for anyone. I've told this story so many times. I had a lady. She was 1 week out from buying her house. Worked over a year to get her credit in order. And then her daughter's car broke down. And her daughter was graduating from college. And her daughter needed a car. Well, she didn't follow the 8th commandment. And the daughter didn't have any credit. So she went and co-signed for the daughter. Folks, that became her debt. That becomes your debt. And that $400 payment, which today's day is probably a minimum. But that $400 payment became her payment, and she did not qualify. So then she had to wait for the daughter to make 6 monthly payments so we could then get it off of her credit. So do not co-sign for anyone. Number 7. Thou shalt not let anyone pull your credit. Let me explain this to you, okay? There are schmucks out there who want to try to intimidate you. Everybody knows that you're going to have your credit looked at. The fact is, when you're buying a house, the credit bureaus know who's pulling your credit. They know that Mortgage Gumbo is pulling your credit. It reports differently than Mervyn's or Maison Blanche. So when you're looking at that, when somebody says, oh, don't have anybody pull your credit, what we're talking about there is don't go open up new credit card bills. Don't go open up new debts, okay? And then once you've decided on the lender, stick with them and go from there. Because we can run your credit. We are doing right now more than ever more free second looks. That's right, and I haven't talked about this in a while, but with rates elevated, do you want to guarantee that you're getting the best program at the cheapest cost? Call me. We do a free second look. Send us over what you currently have from your lender, and we'll tell you if it's the best one or if it could be beat. Why would you not want to see if there's a better opportunity? So thou shalt not let anyone pull your credit. That's a schmuckatelli move by some of these pretender lenders. Number 6, thou shalt not buy furniture. I get that 10 years same as cash. Sounds enticing, right? Hey, the no tax month. Let me go get some furniture and not have any tax. Folks, this coincides with number 7. All right? When somebody pulls your credit, we are going to get an alert. The underwriters get an alert. All right? Then what we've got to do is we've then got to find out, hey, did you open up this new account? It tells us where you went. So then we've got to add that payment in. So all we're saying there is call us first. Call us. Call your lender and say, hey, they got a great sale going over at this box store. Can I go buy some sofas, couches, TVs, whatever it is? Call us and ask, and we'll let you know what the payment is, and we'll see if it's going to make an effect or not. The goal, the most important thing, folks, that you do, I know, love your kids, do all that stuff. I get it. That's a given. But we are working towards the American dream of home ownership. That's what we work for every Saturday here and every day at Mortgage Gumbo. So we don't want to go buy some furniture and it keep us from being able to purchase our house. Let's get in the house first. Number 5, thou shalt not leave out debts on your loan application. And what I mean here, folks, is this. Our credit bureaus are awesome. They're going to pick up what exactly is going on, which, by the way, free plug here for Snap, Send, and Save, Dadcam. Anything that we do on there, it's a soft pull. We never run a hard pull until we get into your application and you have agreed to move forward with us and getting a pre-approval, or as Denise said earlier, working towards the golden ticket. So, again, Mortgage Gumbo makes it easy. We guarantee you as a buyer for $5,000. If you're listing your house and you need to know how much can you afford on your next house, we do soft pulls for our listings and for our buyers. Soft pulls, so there's no credit hit. But that's what that means. Thou shalt not leave out debts. We're going to find out. And mainly we need to know, do you get child support? Or more importantly, are you paying child support? Do you have a repossession maybe that's not showing up? So any debts that may be out there, you got to let us know. All right? Thou shalt not, number 4, thou shalt not spend money set aside for closing. That seems so obvious, right? But, folks, I had a client years ago that spent his money. He was so excited about buying a house, and I kid you not, on the Bible, he went and bought a mail-order bride from Russia. I don't think that would work in today's day and age. We're not in good relations with Russia right now. But he went and used his closing money because he did not realize he's got to use that money. He didn't just show it, right? So you can imagine what kind of client I was dealing with there. But he went and spent his closing cost money and his down payment money on a mail-order bride. Don't do that. So that thou shalt not spend money set aside for your closing. Number 3, thou shalt keep up all payments and not charge up cards. Folks, every time you're making a payment or you're charging up your credit cards, the balance goes up. Right now, credit card debt is through the roof, and we had a great piece planned, and we'll save it for next week talking about credit cards, right? And, as a matter of fact, I've added this week, you go to that same tab, resources on mortgagegumbo.com. I have put a credit card calculator on there. You go there, you attach the link, so from the comfort of your own computer, go work out what credit card and what interest is doing for you. But in this case, you want to keep up all your payments. We don't need something reporting past due right at the end. That could affect something there. Number 2, even more importantly than furniture, we know you want to be a baller in your new house and you want to have a nice new vehicle, shiny, looking pretty. But folks, thou shalt not buy a vehicle. Vehicles are at all-time highs as far as cost goes, up 100-something% year over year. I mean, it's absurd. So that means payments are up. So, again, I get it. If you need that vehicle, again, call your lender and find out. Say, hey, this is what I have to do. Will this affect anything? Because if that investor, credit bureaus are good for 120 days. But when you start changing things up, the investor may say, run a new credit check. That may affect your score in your qualifying. So thou shalt not. And with the payment, that is going to affect qualifying. So number 2 there, thou shalt not buy a vehicle. And number 1, saw it this week. Buyer losing out. And here's why. And then they called me. It wasn't my buyer, because my buyers know the 10 Commandments, right? But a realtor called me and said, hey, can you salvage this? And unfortunately, could not. But number 1 is thou shalt not change jobs, become self-employed, quit your job, or retire when in the process of getting a mortgage. Now, because we know what we're doing here, we've got a client this week who retired, but he's in a great situation. We were able to move some things and still have him qualify.
2 minutes.
This guy's a great buyer. Most folks aren't going to be financially in his situation. But I want to make sure if you go from self-employed to W-2, which means you go from cutting trees on your own to working for a tree company and getting a check every week and taxed on it, that's a W-2 employee, we can work with that. Then we just need a pay stub or two, 30 days of pay stubs. But if you go from working for that tree company to cutting trees on your own because you think you could do a better job, we salute you. We wish you the best. But you're putting yourself a year or two out before you can qualify. Because we can't use your W-2 income anymore, and we can't use something based on projections. Same thing when you're looking at if you're working for a staffing company. I want to add that in as well. Because there's no guarantees. Now, if that employer gives us a letter and says, hey, we're hiring them on full time, and that happens, then after 30 days, we're good to go.